Hello everyone, this is my buddy's 2015, made November of 2014, F350 6.7 Powerstroke. It's been tuned and deleted since it was brand new, before his ownership. It has about 162,000 miles on it, and he's put about 46,000 on those himself. It has been a really reliable truck. It's needed to have one injector change and then just standard oil change, filter change, all that good stuff. I don't even think it's needed a U-joint in all this time. It is leveled with a simple block leveling kit. Think about 2.5 inches or so. And it sits very nicely on these 35-12.5 BF Goodrich KM3s on 17-inch method wheels with zero offset. It is a good looking truck. It has a very nice stance. It drives absolutely excellently. And for anyone wondering what zero offset looks on this body style Super Duty, that is the amount of poke that you get with zero offset in 9-inch wide wheels. Over time, he's planning on doing a little bit of fixing up and modifying to this truck. It has the all original suspension under it, stock radius arms, sway bar end links, the whole 9 yards. He has new wheel bearings, new ball joints, new U-joints, and he's considering how big he wants to go on a lift. I think he wants to go to 37s. Like I said, these are 35s. We are debating, and it is kind of an open forum here because we're going to build this truck on the channel here. This truck is used for a wide range of activities, and he's really got to decide, does he go full bore on all off-road? He generally doesn't tow that much, but with him buying a new house that is going to require some yard work and homework and things like that, he may be using my dump trailer, and potentially if he gets his own dump trailer and things like that a little bit more often. So he does tow relatively infrequently. If he gets a skid steer, he's going to be towing a little bit more to work on his yard, house, new pole barn, all that good stuff. So he's debating on whether he goes full bore with this truck or whether if it's going to be a do-everything truck. Right now, it's actually a really good do-everything truck. We've taken this thing a lot of off-roading, a whole lot of trips. It gets relatively good fuel economy. It drives absolutely wonderfully. Whoever tuned this truck did a really nice job with both engine and transmission tune. It is as far as I know, original to the truck. Basically, the owner bought the truck, and within 1,000 miles had already done all the work to it, the prior owner. So, and he is the second owner of this truck. It has not had any CP4 problems, and we don't have any reason to believe that it will. This truck has never been ran out of fuel that he knows of, or the prior owner. My buddy actually has a common friend with the prior owner, and as far as we know, it was not only serviced impeccably, but it's never been ran out of fuel. The fuel filters have always been changed on time. The engine oil has always been changed on time. It has been a very well-maintained truck, and it's evident in how well this truck drives. The interior is still in great shape. It's a really nice truck to build on. So what he would like to do is he's debating on going between 37s, and 37s is going to be way easier to have a do-all tow rig. 15,000 pounds and down on stock gears with 37s is going to be achievable and still a good running truck that's still going to do what you need to do. If you're going to do 38s and 40s, you're for sure, or 38s or 40s, you're definitely going to want to regear, and it's going to become a little bit more of an issue. Now, I would recommend regearing all the time, and he may choose to when he puts a front locker in this truck. That is one thing that will absolutely be done. It does have a OEM e-locker that most Fords have, and all FX4 package truck has. This is an FX4. So there is, again, a 6.7 Powerstroke on the channel. And I have always loved this truck. Ever since he got it, there's something about it. The way it looked on the outside, the way it feels on the inside. It's just a nice truck. The 15s and 16s were a really nice refresh, a little bit of engine tweaks and a turbo change and things like that from the earlier trucks going to the VGT turbo. The exhaust brake works well. We've towed with it quite a bit, and it runs quite well. These BF Goodrich KM3s, and I'm going to make a whole separate video, so if you want to hear about the KM3s, these have 43,000 miles on them, and that's pretty impressive out of a set of mud tires to still have perfectly usable tread. We were just playing around in some deep sand and things like that, and maybe just a little bit of mud. As you can see, just the teeniest amount of mud got thrown up on the truck, and it's amazing how well these tires still work. There's still a lot of tread life left in these trucks. Tread life left in these tires, and they're still very, very useful tires. They are not quite ready to be changed until he's ready to do so, whenever he decides to order the lift and decide how big he wants to go. So when he does the front locker, like I said, he'll decide whether he wants to do gears, because he's going to have to make that decision if he goes to a 410 and bigger locker set, or if he sticks, I believe this is 373 truck, or if he sticks with 373 gears. He's got to make that decision when he gets the locker, because he sure as heck doesn't want to buy a 373 gear locker and then want to go to 456s or 430s or something like that. He's got to make that choice, and help us make that choice, because, I mean, he's my best friend, and anything he needs, he's going to get. I can tow whatever he needs to tow, so let us know if you want to see this truck full bore, locker 40s, like a 5.5-inch Carli system, the best of the best for off-roading, or do you want to see this thing remain a fairly capable tow rig, even for big trailers? He doesn't have a fifth wheel, I don't think have any interest in getting a fifth wheel anytime soon. A gooseneck very well might be on a menu, but this truck on 37s for sure won't be a problem with the gooseneck. Even 40s, you should be able to adjust that coupler enough to make the gooseneck level, especially when you're buying a deck over trailer. Shouldn't have very much trouble making the trailer level with this truck, even if you were to go up a little bit. Right now, he basically exclusively tows conventional trailers. This truck is not equipped with a gooseneck or a fifth wheel setup, and it wasn't from the factory. And neither of us own a fifth wheel or gooseneck. I will be, at some point here, getting a fifth wheel, or excuse me, a gooseneck. Thinking a 25K, 32 feet long, should be perfect trailer for everything I need to do for right now. It's something that is needed to be done for a very long time, and we definitely need to look at that route, and he may want to be able to tow that trailer when I get it. So a gooseneck may be in his future. I'll be putting a B&W hitch into my truck, and he probably will look at the same kit for his truck at some point. So let us know if you'd like to see full bore or not. And we're thinking what we're considering is fabricating our own front winch bumper, and also a new rear bumper, so that it looks good from all angles, and also looking at, for sure, some rock sliders. He wants to be able to use this truck off-road, and having a rock slider is going to protect his body. That's one thing that he's always been interested in, is maintaining his body condition, but still being able to have a really useful truck off-road, and a rock slider can definitely help protect the body a little bit. And you can definitely design the rock slider to stick out just enough to protect the side of the truck from many things, including door dings, as well as rocks and stuff coming up, being thrown up by the tires. The rock slider can catch some of it, at least. It certainly isn't going to catch all of it, and as you can see, one of the downsides with having big offset wheels and bigger tires is the mud coating on the windows and the doors. And here's a great example: rock chips on the window. You have a rock that'll come straight up from here, right there. So that is definitely a downside. One of the things that we're going to work on with this truck, he wants to do a full Raptor lining on it at some point. We need to fix a little bit. There isn't really hard rust down here, but more a little bit of surface rust, nothing a wire wheel can't fix. Here's another nothing of some wire wheel and some work can't fix. His cab corner, we definitely need to investigate that a little bit. I think that is just a little bit of surface rust, but it wouldn't be the first time that I've replaced cab corners on things. Now the bed. The bed definitely has a couple spots that aren't very happy. The fender flare area there is for sure rusted through, obviously. There are a couple cross members underneath the truck that, for the bed, that are rough. The frame is in perfect condition. So here's a question to you guys. He does not know what he wants. He had a topper on this truck, and I loved the topper on this truck. It was a white topper. I think it was a Lear or something like that. He took it off because he needed to do some open bed work where he needed to have that working on his house. I really like the topper, and I wish he'd go back to that. However, one thing that is on the menu is he found a replacement bed for this at a reasonable price, white bed, it doesn't have any rust, and that is a direction he may choose to go, is to put a new bed. Let us know if you like that idea. Then he could decide to do like a deck system and then a topper on it to put his topper back on. So to have a little storage. He loves having organized storage. He's a very organized person, more organized than me. And I think that the deck with the topper on it would, and of course that makes it so gooseneck and fifth wheel is not an option. But the other option might be a Diamondback cover, like the switchback one that folds up out of the way, so that you can run a gooseneck or a fifth wheel in it. It would fold up out of the way, and he would have that option. The other option that he's considering is a flatbed, and I have maybe not as much love for flatbeds, simply because of the lack of storage and the open bed space, which things are going to tend to fall out as you're trying to use your truck. But of course, there are some major upsides of being able to put things on the back of your truck flat. An easy place to bring a four-wheeler up if we were to go hunting, we could probably put, if we designed the bed just right, we could probably fit 2 work quads, and especially if we made a removable flat extra part on the back, we could load 2 work quads on the back of this truck and then tow a little boat or tow whatever we need to tow along with us. So one of his intentions, he loves to hunt. He loves to go upland duck hunting and deer hunting and bear hunting with me. And we've, of course, taken this truck to many opportunities of bow hunting and gun hunting and bear hunting and things like that. And we're hoping to get more uplanding and bird hunting done in the future. Having the storage to bring your gear in lockable space is obviously very, very important. So let us know what you guys would like to see on this truck, because there really is a lot of options when it comes to kitting out a truck. And the nice thing about a Super Duty, especially this specific truck, is it has a Sterling 10.5, just one of the best rear axles ever made, period. I have had nothing but great luck with the Sterling 10.5. They are so strong, they are so reliable, and basically as long as they don't run out of fluid, there's very little that's going to cause damage to them. The truck already comes with a great rear axle. Front axle, it is a Dana Super 60. This is a 10-inch ring gear, very heavy-duty housing. This is a Super 60. It is not a wide track 60. So the F450 and the chassis cabs would get a wide track Super 60, and that has 1550 U-joints. This has 1480 U-joints, and it is a 10-inch ring gear. So this has a wonderful front axle already in it. It is so easy to put an Eaton E-locker or a ARB air locker, depending on your taste. Let us know what you guys think. He has a rear E-locker, and I think he'd like to have a front E-locker for reasons of simplicity. That is the setup that I had in my 2019 Powerstroke, and I really, 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 really liked it. I think that is the direction that he's going to go on this. As I said, at that point, he'll decide on gears. I think 430s are going to serve him really well, unless he decided to go 38s or 40s, of which case I would recommend 456s. And that is going to take all the load off of the transmission and the driveline, and it will absolutely help drivability and allow you to hold 6 years longer and things like that. So, a little bit of an overview of his truck. We will have, I think you've already seen when I edit this, an exhaust clip, and we'll put in here a little bit of an acceleration video too. So I hope that you guys enjoyed the video and a little bit of overview of this truck, and let us know what you'd like to see, because at the end of the day, the YouTube viewer also helps us make choices too. A lot of you guys know a lot about what you're talking about, and some of you may have special knowledge of, maybe you're a duck hunter or an upland hunter or whatever kind of hunter. Maybe you like to overland, things like that. Maybe you guys should give us a little bit of a tip that you found works well with storage. I, of course, have not as much knowledge with toppers. It's pretty easy to put a topper on. That's not what I'm getting at, but just the up or the downside of having a truck bed top or cap on top. I really like this truck with it. I saw very little downsides, and I just got the Diamondback cover for my 2016 Cummins, which I really, really, really like. And of course, I don't have enough experience with it yet to find things that I don't necessarily like yet. So let us know what your experiences are in that, and if you guys have deck systems in your truck, especially a deck combined with a topper. I think that option for him would work absolutely phenomenally. I believe better than the flatbed setup, but let us know what you guys would like to see. And let us know too on the winch. I've always run 12K winches. Considering the size of this truck, I was almost wondering if a 16.5 large frame winch might be a good idea, only because it is a big heavy diesel. And if this truck gets stuck, it's probably a situation that's a pretty bad situation, and having a little extra winch might be handy. And it very well could be doing recovery of other vehicles too. For instance, if we were on a hunting trip and everything went south, having more winch than we need might be a really sound idea. If you guys are looking forward to seeing the Carli system get put on, let me know how in-depth you guys want to see that. We could do a high-level overview, or we could do a step-by-step, run the cameras, and fast forward as we're going, so that you can see every little bit of a step. Or do you guys want to see the parts laid out, how to install them, then an overview of how it went, and then focus more on the performance of the suspension too? Or would you like to see it all? Do you want to have a big long video that has every last little thing you'd ever want to know about installing the system? Let me know what you're looking for out of that, because every viewer is different, and I want to know what you guys want. Take care all, and have a wonderful day.